This isn't a bike that is breaking new ground. It's not introducing any new technology or wild engine designs. It's just a European model that Kawasaki brought stateside to compete in the growing middleweight street fighter market, and here in America, we already have our established favorites. The bike, the Z800, is new to America for 2016, but it's far from new. The Z800 was originally introduced in Europe as a replacement for the Z750 in 2013. This bike has been a perennial European bestseller for Kawasaki ever since. With the middleweight naked market heating up in America, Kawasaki has finally made the decision to bring the bike to the United States. The Z800 is a bare-bones motorcycle. Technology on the Z800 is basic in the form of fuel injection and ABS. No throttle-by-wire, no rider modes, no traction control. I heard others complaining about the dash, but I don't share their sentiment. I felt the dash was simple and basic, but it gave me a clear understanding of all the information I need with nothing I don't. I do wish that the fuel gauge were more precise, as I felt as if I was always running out of gas. On paper, at 510 pounds, this bike comes across as rather porky. On the road, however, it wears its weight well and handled much more nimbly than I was expecting. I have multiple 500+ pound bikes in my garage, and the Z800 feels lighter than all of them. It shares a similar geometry to that of its faster, faired brother, the ZX6R. The Z800 has 24 degrees of rake with 3.9 inches of trail, placing it squarely in sport bike territory. The suspension is extremely capable for sporty street riding. The 41mm Kybe fork up front allowed for 4.7 inches of travel, while the rear monoshock provided 5.4 inches. Both are fully adjustable for preload and rebound damping, but at 205 pounds, I had no issues with the factory settings. I was impressed with the Dunlop Sportmax D214 tires. A 120/70th CR17 and 180/55th CR17 front and rear warmed up fast and provided excellent grip in a variety of situations, including riding through the canyons in a huge thunderstorm, sunny California, my ass. At 6 feet, 3 inches, I had no problem with the 32.8-inch seat height and found the ergonomics to be extremely comfortable. Shorter riders may not agree. Wide, low-slung handlebars replaced clip-ons found on a traditional sport bike and held me in a sporting tuck, but without causing discomfort for my wrists or lower back on all-day rides. I do not have the same positive sentiments about the seat. The dual, 4-piston Nissan calipers clamp down on 310mm rotors up front and provide solid, predictable brake feel. The foot pedal controlling the single-piston rear caliper and 250mm rotor could benefit from better response and feedback. The Z800 comes standard with ABS, which cannot be disabled. Kawasaki avoids the triple craze and sticks with an 806cc inline-4 engine in the Z800. While Kawasaki hasn't posted any official numbers, there are no known changes made from the European specs, which means it should be laying down around 110 horsepower and 60 foot-pounds of torque. The engineers sacrificed top-end ponies for more usable power delivery on the street. The Z800 derives a lot of its engine characteristics from a modified intake cam and a heavily tuned exhaust. The length of the headers, equalizer connections, and an internal exhaust valve all work together to offer up increased low to mid-range power from this engine. I like the fact that the headers remind me of the old 1970s Honda CB400F, and unlike the Z1000 and Ninja 1000 mufflers, the Z800's doesn't get in the way when I ride with the balls of my feet on the pegs. Official numbers be damned, the Z800 feels subdued, almost lazy, right out of the gate, but it picks up power evenly. Between 5,000 and 6,000 RPM, the engine begins to wake up, and by the time you're above 8,000 RPM it is beating its chest, howling all the way to the 12,200 RPM red line. While I am not typically a fan of inline fours on the street, I had a surprising amount of fun with this bike.